The first part of the passage is pretty well done now. You know, we sort of had to break this up in two. As we left Reunion, making that crossing from Reunion across to Madagascar, it's 3 or 4 days. It's 600 miles from Reunion to the top, Cape d'Umbre, which is where we're heading now. But the first part of that passage is getting from Reunion to Madagascar. So that's pretty much in the trade winds, you know, the east-southeast. That's what we've had. We've had this absolutely perfect sort of breeze the whole time. I know she's listening, but I don't want to say it too much, but it's probably been a little bit light because it's made the boat a little bit rolly. But as we make our way up to Cape d'Umbre now, for the final 150 miles to round the top of Madagascar, this is where the second part of the passage really comes into play. You can see our tracker now, we're about 20, 30 miles off the coast of Madagascar. We've got to make it another 50 or 60 miles sort of north from here, where we'll start getting into those winds that'll start into the compression zone, where we'll start getting stronger winds. And you can see on the current as well here, the current really picks up and starts roaring from around the same spot where the wind starts. So we're expecting a current of about 2+ knots for that 100 miles up the coast of Madagascar. So the idea is to get in close to the coast to help reduce that sea fetch and the stronger winds, and yeah, just basically to round the top, because you know any sort of headland always has confused seas, so we're expecting quite a confused sea. But we've timed it really well, because every few days the wind just roars around the top. You can see on the winds here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is looking pretty nice, but as it comes Thursday afternoon, Friday, that wind starts to really pick up and fill in this area again. So we've got 2 days from now to make it up around the top. You know, once after this 50 or 60 miles from here and we get into that stronger winds and trades, I feel like we're going to be hooking at 9-10 knots anyway, so I don't think that last 100 miles has got to take too long. But sun's out, guns out, bun's out now. Have a bit of a scrub. And yeah, this last 50, 60 miles before the action starts. Yeah, I love action. Made our way in closer to land now. Madagascar's like not even 10 miles behind me. Still can't see it. We're still a bit further south of where that current's meant to start, but mate, we're starting to pick it up. Here's me just casually kicking back, doing 10 knots. Oh, this is sick. Probably should pull the fishing lines in, because fish can't even swim as fast as what we're going. Hey, Mum.
Wait, I just got a couple of fish.
Hey Mum,
What?
what's it like to go to the toilet at 9 knots? We're starting to find that current.
Nandji's been hooking along today. 10.4 knots was the fastest speed I saw just passing by and looking at the screen, so she could have gone faster, but yeah, we're just kind of surfing down the waves, picking up speed, ranging between 7 to 10 knots. So we are.
She's good, isn't she?
Yeah, she just handles it so
I
well.
told you, babe.
She can
I
really
told you.
handle the speed, which is so awesome. Like Nandji one, the whole hull would just be singing, and it just felt a bit out of control. So it's been a really good passage so far. So touch wood.
Madagascar. And through the clouds, there is Madagascar. Madagascar everywhere. We're getting up to the point where the stronger winds should start picking in. I guess we have had pretty stronger winds for the last couple of hours, but the sea state's terrible. We're still on a broad reach as much as we can. Still just under 20 miles off land as well, but this next 100 miles is going to be a dead downwind run, so we're pretty much just going to be running under a head sail only. I know it's going to be super rolling. We're just trying to get up to where we get a bit more wind and where the current's really into us. But I know as soon as we drop this mainsail, it's going to be so uncomfortable. But we'll just keep smashing it as far as we can, get within 5 miles even of land. Still want to stay in the deep water, so we'll stay in the shelf, so we're still in 1,000 metres.
Well, we're going into dusk. We're going into night. Yosh and I just pulled down the mainsail, so we've just got the head sail out so that we can go more downwind and straight up the coast. It's slowed us down a little bit, which isn't great. We really have to time going up and around the top of Madagascar, so this is going to slow us down a little bit. Hopefully the current picks us up soon. But I've just seen our first ship off of the Madagascan coast. It's not on AIS. And then I can't see any lights. It does have lights, but it's not on AIS, which is a little bit... We're going to have to be very careful.
We're getting up towards Cape Diumbria now. We've still got quite a long way actually. So we got 100 miles still to get there, but making our way up the coast, this is where everything sort of starts building, all the wind, currents, everything starts getting a bit gnarlier, and we're about 20 miles offshore here, and a big squall just crept up on us. That was 40 knots there for a few minutes. It's back down to 30 now, but just the sea state's really confused, which makes it uncomfortable. It's not the wind so much, it's more the confused sea, like this 3-metery choppy confusion that's just all over the place. It just makes it real rolly and uncomfortable.
I can hear Tallulah giggling away. She's downstairs playing with the crew, so she's all good.
That was pretty much one of the big deciding reasons why we got more crew on board for this passage, was because we knew it was going to be pretty gnarly coming around this headland, and Mum and Dad were going to have to do some sailing. So yeah, we got some people on board pretty much just to play with Tallulah and have fun while we are up here cupping it sweet.
dinging along, making our way north to the tip of Madagascar. The wind's blowing around between 25 and 30 knots, but it is very comfortable. This boat is handling it, Nandji 2 is handling it so well. I'm a little bit nervous about rounding the Cape because we're going to have to do it in the night time. It's just worked out that way, unfortunately. We didn't have the speed that we thought we'd have the whole way, so timing was a bit off, and yeah, but it's going to really start blowing up through here shortly after, so we prefer to just do it in the night and get it done rather than potentially be out here for it to get uglier and uglier. So yeah, we'll just push on until some.
The second part of the passage, as we said, is a little bit spicy, but Nandji 2 absolutely relishes these conditions. It's just a consistent 25 to 30 knots under the old third reef staysail size. Actually, we're going a bit bigger head sail just because we're full sending it. But we're doing 8-9 knots. As we sort of get up around this next little knob is where we're going to pick up that 2-knot current. So I think we're going to be breaking some land speed records. So, but yeah, now those squalls are cleared, blue skies.
Yeah.
Sun's out, bun's out.
Woo!
Madagascar!
Oh,
Here we go!
Madagascar!
Good old trusty ropes out the back again just to help stabilise the stern in these waves. Because we're driving back and forth though, it means we've got to pull it in each time. So 2 tickets to the gun show, thanks, but man, it's really nice to be out flying. It's just this sea state is terrible. Terrible. Very white, not very blue.
This ain't 3-peg weather, Yosh.
You're more than 3 pegger, eh? 3 bloody good pegs. Oh, Nandji 2. You are so damn sexy.
It's about 3 a.m. and we're about to round the Cape. We've been beaten up all day today. I mean, we've had 25 to 30 knot winds and then lots of squalls that punch like 40 to 50 knots of wind, and so we've been beaten up. and we were very nervous about the conditions of what it was going to be like going around this cape, and so far the winds are like between 8 and 13 knots, so it is the calmest that we've had along this stretch of coastline. So yeah, I think within the hour we should be completely around the top. Yosh is just navigating it himself. The crew are asleep. Well, I'm meant to be asleep as well, so that I'm going to take the next shift after him, and so then he can sleep. So, but yeah, within the next hour we should have rounded the cape, and then I'll be on watch, and happy days. We'll be in the smooth, calm waters on the other side of Madagascar. So the hard part of the journey will be over, and yeah, I'm going to be very proud of us once we do that, because it has been a feat. It's been a real challenge. What do you think it is, Mahi?
Wahoo!
Say hello, fish.
So we always knew that rounding Cape d'Ambre, the northern tip of Madagascar, was going to be a challenging time, and we timed our weather really well. So we thought. That 150 nautical mile stretch up the coast, up the east coast to reach the Cape, man, yesterday was challenging. It was 30s all the way, a couple of 40 knot bangers in the Squalls. Just the sea state was so confused and just terrible, which is what made it so horrendous. It's not so much the wind. You know, we still got 20, 25 knots now on this side, but there's no swell and it's not built up terrible sea. So it's just that sea state made it really hard and difficult. And we were thinking the whole way up that, you know, it's been 30, 40 knots for the last 150 miles. It's going to be the same around the top of the Cape, and it's going to be even worse seas because it's shallow, big currents, strong winds, shallow water, three things that just combine to make a terrible sea state. And about 10 miles out of the Cape, winds got lighter, the seas calmed down, and we rounded the Cape in 15 knots and smooth seas, baby. Oh, so that was a very comforting and a very big reward, I feel, for the endurance we put in yesterday in our sailing. But sun came up this morning. Wake up call of hey Yosh, there's a wahoo. Madagascar, you're producing the goods already. You've been knocking up the miles, haven't you, buddy?
Madagascar.
Madagascar.
What do you reckon, Lula? Is that a big fish?
Yes.
Have to clean him up. Yeah, very messy.
Oh, wahoo!
Wahoo!
That's going to feed us for a while.
How's that? Turns out these guys, there's some oranges and some lemons, some other citrusy fruit, and these guys love ceviche. So since Arthur's a bit of a chef in his own mind, let's test out his ceviche. He's got a bit of a challenge, you know. Anyone who steps on after Disco Stew better whip up a bit of a feed, because Disco fed us well.
This is naughty. This is so naughty.
Oh, yummy. You like ceviche, don't you, Marley?
Oh well,
What'd you get?
a little bonito, but
Oh,
there's something bigger in these waters.
you got shark.
You got sharked.
Well, that's a good sign.
I'm not used to having sharks around, but
I know.
I guess this is the third part of the passage that we never even really thought about or mentioned, because the first two parts are a challenge in itself. But as soon as you get around the Cape d'Ambre there and start heading down this west coast, this northwest area of Madagascar is, some people say, the best cruising grounds in the world, or the best place that they have visited. And already our first thoughts are, yeah, pretty bloody amazing. Caught a couple of fish, dead smooth, got some Arvo wind now. There's actually quite a phenomenon that happens through this area as well, where in the mornings they have an offshore breeze, so all the boats and the and the fishing boats, they sail out, and then in the afternoon they get this westerly, so they all sail back in, so they're just always going downwind. And I'm sure many of you have seen images of those boats of East Africa and of the Mozambique Channel, and that's one thing actually very, very excited to check out, is all these sailing fishing boats. And they're so cool. Like, they got these old school schooners and dhows, big triangle sails, stunning. So pretty cool to see that, you know. Changing, new countries, new cultures, new things to see. And we always said in Asia, and generally the first thing you see when you're arriving into a country is the difference is their boats, is the fishing boats. So I'm not sure we'll see anything now because this northern area isn't populated, but I'm very excited to see the boats of Madagascar. African sunset. What a way to finish a passage. Oh, welcome to Madagascar. It's the boats, eh? It's always the boats. As soon as you see them, you just know, like, we are in a different place, a different culture, and man, this is sick. There's so many sails on the horizon already, so I really like Madagascar already.
See if I can join it?
Who's here?
Can join it.
In the tree somewhere, isn't he?
Mom,
What?
look!
What'd you spot? What's that?
It's a volcano!
Is it?
Yeah!
Wow!
There's lava in it.
Lava?
Yeah!
Whoa, is it hot, hot lava?
Yes? Yeah? Well, I'm going to go flip too. Hopefully that truck stays on.